I straight up almost forgot to do this tonight. It's become a bit of a habit, and definitely one I'm looking to cultivate more, moving forward. But I straight up, like, I really want to keep this to being a consistent thing that I do, where I film myself just talking to the camera, because I think in a lot of ways it's been very good and cathartic for me to just like chill out about the way that I'm just like approaching social media and learning to expand more on like my ability as a creator to like discuss things that I'm going through at the time, my ability as a person to be open about things like struggles that I'm experiencing, because that's something I'm not good at. I'm not good at like talking about things as I'm going through them. I'm really only good in hindsight at addressing them. But at the time, while there's this sense of like, just like things aren't resolved, can't do it. I'm incapable. Which is not great, you know. That it is what it is. But it is something that I can fix too. So it's something that I'm like actively trying to stay on top of through this process, and yeah, just keep engaging with consistently, staying consistent with myself as a person. Because the point of this to me is not to like grow. I mean, obviously I want to grow a massive YouTube following, but that's not the point of these journals in and of themselves. I see like other media as being a part of that process. I think this is for me, and I'm treating it that way. I'm treating it like kind of like a video journal. Yeah, I spent a lot of today thinking about like my videos and my level of ability to connect with my audience, and about the way that I'm doing that in my videos and like telling stories and whatnot. And it's funny because I think I'm an engaging conversationalist. I don't think I'm an engaging storyteller. If I'm just monologuing, totally different thing, you know? But that's a skill I 100% want to learn and implement, and I think I just need to start putting reps in, and so this is one way that I do that. TikTok as well is a way that I'm like learning to do that as well. Just getting those like I want to at minimum post like 3 times a day now, which means I need to be putting like way less time into like the edit of a thing, and part of it just needs to be raw. And I think it's going to be good for both my connection with y'all and also for my own sanity. And yeah, I tend to hyperfixate on like the visuals of something and really making like the like just whatever, just getting like way too in my head about things. And when I spend as long as I do on making a video, when I then post it and sometimes it performs, but sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't perform, dude, that's game over for me. I like can't handle that shit. It ruins my day. To the point where I've had to like take breaks from certain platforms, where I'm like, TikTok especially, because it's just that raw feedback. There's like almost no input from like your existing audience. It's pretty much like video to video. So if a video just either wasn't as good, didn't perform, like didn't have, just whatever, right? Like if it just wasn't as good a video, but especially if the views weren't there, dude, no shot. Ruined my whole day. And that's like not the way I want to live my life, you know? And I also don't want to live like, one, I don't want to live my life in like a perpetual state of like emotional upheaval. And then I also don't want to give something like that power over me in that way. And I was doing that by like feeling like it needed to be perfect, and not being clear about either my expectation for something or just relaxing enough for it to just exist on its own. And that's tough. That's a tough lesson to learn, especially like once you've gone down the road of it, like okay, I'm a creator now, like this is my full-time job, and as much as I love it, it's like, okay, this is now my income, you know. And for me, I've always kind of taken that like I can outwork anyone mentality to things, and I like to consider myself like a smart and capable person, and so when something's not working, I'll just double down on working harder, and then when that doesn't work, I'm like, well, I can't figure that shit out at all, like, don't know what's going on, and then I'm to blame, and it's like, no, okay, like, let's take a step back. I think there's a level of authenticity that is being lost when you're like really going that deep into it and spending that much time focusing on perfection instead of just letting it flow. I think that's what I like really want to focus on in 2024. Which is so funny. I was talking to my friend Hugh, who's on the show, and she talks a lot about like letting things flow and like the energy of things and how it kind of pulls towards people in one way or another. And while it's not a perspective I ascribe to personally, there are things about it that really ring true. She was saying it shouldn't, like what you're doing shouldn't feel like you're forcing it. And that doesn't necessarily mean not working hard, but it does mean, in some sense, that you're not trying as hard. Even if you are trying as hard, it doesn't feel like it. And there's parts of that I agree with and disagree with. I think, and I'm kind of agreeing with it more as time goes on. There's definitely an element to, if something is your job that you need to do, a part of you will always feel like it's your job, it's an obligation. Sorry. Even if you like fully like love what you do, right? But I definitely agree that, especially in a creative field like this, where connection matters so much, it's a totally different story. Like today, I filmed a video with Taylor and Lily, where Lily and Taylor were picking out my outfits, and it was cute, and I really loved the process of doing that. And that's like, yeah, I just love that. Or like one of the videos I made for Showcase Posts, I partnered with my friend Kayla. She did makeup on me. Like really cool, colorful, decorative makeup, right? And it was fun. It was just fun. Like, we had a blast. And we laughed. And it was one of my favorite videos that I've made. And I put a lot of time and effort into, like, the actual editing of everything. And there are parts of that that, like, aren't super sustainable if I'm doing it, like, minimum 3 videos a day, right? But the process of feeling connected to what I was making and just having a good time, that was magical. That was magical. And I felt that today in my video with Taylor and Lily. Yeah.